Hey everyone, welcome back to Brick System Brothers. My name's Nathan Masters. I have picked up a Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings themed set from Walmart. This was actually reduced already to about $23, down from $32. That's why I have bought this set. Usually I don't buy things from Walmart until they go to clearance. But this is a recent set that I was surprised to see already cleared down a little bit. Some kind of sale, I guess. 76176, Escape from the Ten Rings, is the specific set here. There's a couple other Shang-Chi sets that are announced. I'm not sure how many are available at Walmart, but I have seen this one actually for almost a full month now on the shelves. Back in July even we saw this. So I'm going to get this opened up today. Definitely going to build the minifigures. I like the detailed minifigs in the set and the other ones. And it's small enough, I think I'll go ahead and build the whole thing and we'll do a little review. Get a closer look at the box here for a second. The information, 321 pieces, 7+ rating. I actually haven't really looked at this stuff in a long time since I've been buying so many loose pieces lots from other sources. But yeah, going back to a boxed retail set, and we'll get this built up here. Pretty standard box size, smaller set, so nothing too irregular here. The box art for this specific Marvel subgroup has our main character and some of the logo motif, and of course the title of the movie that will be coming out in September, I think. I guess one of the things I have heard, I guess I don't need my knife, it's a thumb punch, but Josh showed me you can salvage these boxes if you slice through that glue along this back portion of the box. I'm gonna see if I can make this work. But anyways, one of the things I've heard going around in discussion circles and forums is the color choice for the minifigs, which maybe would have been better to do that slightly darker tone that is available. Looking at some of the Harry Potter minifigs that they've done, and this is your standard flesh color. So that's a discussion that's been going on, and I guess it just depends on, you know, how you are you going to be comparing these minifigs to a different character in the show who maybe has darker skin tones. Even just on the cover here, looking at the color match with our character image and the minifig, it's pretty close. So I don't necessarily see this being a big issue to me personally, but definitely something that's been going around. I'm sure everyone has their opinion. We've got a couple stickers, mostly for the damage detail on the car, and some of the motorcycles have the Ten Rings logo on them. So already a bit of conflict here going on, and then just 3 numbered bags with relatively few pieces in each. Bag 1 results are 2 minifigs and a few support builds. We've got a projectile crossbow with our spring-loaded, kind of the larger one that is really widely used in Star Wars and has made its way into other themes. And then there is a 2x2 tile, or a disc shooter. It just uses a friction fit, and both of these are built on a triangular support structure and have complete 360 range of motion. And there's also a little weapons rack with some nice pearl silver and pearl gold articles there. Several spare pieces in this bag. Bag 1 has a lot of the smaller parts, so we have 2 extra rings and then all of the 1x1 size parts. So it's the Legend of the Ten Rings, but for Lego it's just the the Legend of the Three Rings, in this set anyways. And then we also have this little flying character, and I have no idea what this is. Once the movie is out, we will, I'm sure, understand more about what role this thing plays, but for now it is just a mystery character. And then this is the antagonist, as far as I know. We do have names for these guys. So bag 1 is Shang-Chi and Razor Fist. Moving on through bag 2, progress here. We build 2 motorcycles that are dark blue, 1 more minifigure. So I think this is Shang's father in the movie. And he is on one of the bikes, and we also start the yellow car. So the yellow car is a pretty solid build. It reminds me of the 6 wide Speed Champions before they got upgraded to 8 wide. Just packing in a lot of detail. Some of our pretty recent bracket pieces. The inverted 1x1 that are 2 studs high are used right here. You can kind of see those going down. So that's a pretty new piece. What else we got going? Some sideways building to give a little bit more room in the car for a couple minifigs. And then we're also using some of this teal. So there's a 2x2 round brick and some 2x2 plates in teal for some of the filler brick. And I think LEGO is just adding this color in where they can now that it's back on the palette. And we also have a couple more spare pieces in this bag. Our sand blue 1x1 round brick was introduced with the LEGO art. So it was either new for that set or it was very rare before that, but also being used in some of these smaller scale sets. You get 4 in each motorcycle inside the shroud, and 1 more chrome gold ring, bringing our total of rings so far to 4. So we're either going to get 6 more rings for 10, or we're just going to say that this represents a partial collection of the legendary 10 rings. And with bag 3 we complete the set. The main build being our car here, kind of a coupe, not quite an SUV. It's kind of a little bit lower to the ground, but that back window sloping all the way towards the back of the vehicle instead of coming back down with another rear windshield. So kind of an interesting style there. Somewhat futuristic, but still recognizable. Our last minifigure and a few more spare pieces. And so that kind of wraps up each one of the bags. Time to look at the set as a whole. So at regular retail, this is $32 plus tax for 321 pieces. That's right at your 10-cent per piece mark. Like I mentioned, this was slightly reduced when I got it, so getting it for even less than that benchmark. With 4 minifigures, I feel like this is a pretty good deal in terms of value. Our minifigs have really good printing. 2 of the 4 have leg printing. So Wenwu and Katie, hopefully pronouncing those right, have leg and torso prints. Double-sided face prints for, again, 2 out of our 4 minifigs. And the other 2 have pretty detailed torso prints. And we also have 4 of those 10 rings here. I think 2 of them just being included as extras. And as I built this, I kind of realized, you don't need 10 of these rings in every set. The ring piece has actually been around quite a while. I think this was introduced for the Lord of the Rings theme back in 2012. So almost 10 years with that piece being around. Brought it back for these sets. I think you could even take off the hands of the minifigs and put them in between to kind of wear it on that wrist like we see in the trailer and soon in the movie. As far as some downsides, the bikes are pretty simple builds. I noticed there was a bit of flex when you're going to put minifig hands onto the handlebars. So when you go to attach that, it has a tendency to want to push down and not quite clip in all the way. That's pretty minor. Slightly bigger gripe I have is the color match on the stickers for the vehicle. The color used in the vehicle is our bright light orange, so kind of a mix between your typical yellow and orange LEGO color pieces. The stickers are supposed to match this pretty close. but they are quite a bit darker than what it's supposed to be on that color background. So I appreciate the fact that we have this detail added with the stickers, really showing kind of the damage here that's being inflicted on the vehicle as it makes its getaway, but it's almost not worth it if we're going to have that much of a color difference. So something that, you know, you look at several sets across the board, this has kind of been an ongoing issue. It's not always the case. One of the ways that they have mitigated this in the past is to use stickers with a clear backing and just print that other detail on top of that clear transparent sticker, and that allows the base color to go through the rest of the sticker and the decoration to stand on its own. So not sure if that's a more expensive process or they have different ways of doing that internally. Why don't they just do that for all the sets? Couldn't tell you, but definitely noticeable in this more than other sets that I've seen. And it's not like every set with stickers has bad color matching. It's just more often than not you might see that standing out. Then, well, of course, if a set does have good color match, then you're not supposed to see it. So that's kind of the idea there. Our action features here, playability wise, we've got the projectile launchers. So this one, the spring loaded one, is just a simple push and that sends it off. Barely a pinch is required to get that flying. You have an extra one of those for that launcher. This one takes a little bit more with just, again, a push mechanism to get past that friction inside the launcher. And this one also has a spare disc to launch, so you get two each of those. The launchers themselves, pretty stable. I mean, each one of these legs is 4 studs long, so that's plenty of stability. There's a little bit of wobble just based on the construction method used there, but it's not too detrimental to the action. There's plenty of smaller detailed pieces in this set. Especially impressed with the way that they filled in the gaps around the fenders. Typically this has been done in the past with some inverted slope bricks, and in this set it is using a new combination, or new to me, of some studs not on top building out and then a small cut tile to kind of fill in that gap without interfering with the tire itself. So a technique that I am happy to see. Might keep an eye on that and use that if it proves beneficial in some upcoming projects. The car itself, pretty easy to get into that and place minifigures in. There's a couple studs there to get them secured, but it is just a 2-seater car, so even being 6 wide, that's only gonna fit minifigures one at a time in there. It's possible to go side by side at this scale, as we've seen with the gift with purchase from earlier this year, the Ideas classic car. It just requires a little bit more delicate building at this time. There aren't a lot of pieces that lend themselves to packing minifigs in, just because of the way the arms stick out on there. So pretty good value in this set, I feel like. Some nice colors. The motorcycle parts themselves are actually pretty recent. I hadn't picked up these new frames yet, and I like the dark pearl gray wheel rims for the bike. I think I only have the typical light gray. So even though it does have that little issue with getting these minifig hands attached, I think that's outweighed by the updated molds themselves. The stickers weren't actually too hard to get on there. There's a couple different angles to line up, but it's pretty obvious which way they go. And we even get a teal and a pink highlight sticker to boot. So a couple different designs going on, and not overwhelmingly amount of stickers going on either. I feel like for the size of a set, there's a couple just to set some detail apart and show what's going on in the chase, but not too many overall. So that's about all I've got to say about 76176, the Shang-Chi Escape from the 10 Rings. This movie's coming out next month as of the upload here on Brick System Brothers. Haven't seen it, couldn't tell you a whole lot about the idea, the plot, or even the characters, but I knew that I wanted to grab some of these minifigs just because
The printing is really well done. So this was the set that I'm going for here to get 4 minifigs and some nice support builds as well from this sub-theme. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's just a little review for you, and we'll be back to our regular stuff soon. See you next time on Brick System Brothers.